Now let's start with our top story this evening. A group of ministers has endorsed the proposal that members of parliament and MLAs need not pay toll tax on any national highway anywhere in the country. It's of course an example of another freebie that our politicians have gifted themselves. All of this coming at a time when politicians are all set to raise their monthly salary from 16,000 rupees to 80,000 rupees. None of this of course counts all the many other allowances that our politicians get. We look more closely at the culture of political freebies.
A free ride across India's expressways. The latest freebie for our elected MPs and MLAs. The empowered group of ministers last night decided that it was essential to allow free passage at least to some.
MPs in the state who are required to move around had made this plea to me individually and in Parliament, and I said I'll look into it.
But what is more bizarre is the official reason for this exemption. According to sources, the argument given was that not allowing our elected leaders free passage may prompt them to oppose toll collection across our national highways, something which is desperately needed if India is to meet the target of building at least 20 kilometers of highway a day. During 2008-2009, NHAI's toll collection was 1,702 crores, while a year later it had climbed to 1,935 crores. But the National Highway Authority admits its collections could have been still higher, if not for many simply sailing through. While MPs and MLAs have argued that they have every right to free passage across tollways because they are elected representatives, others argue that if you want people to pay for the things that they use, including national highways, our leaders perhaps should lead by example.
No, they should pay. That's the best example.
We are already citizen, they are also citizen. Suppose we are paying toll, they should pay.
So far, 14 categories and persons, including the President, the Prime Minister and Justices of the Supreme and High Courts, are exempted from paying toll. While the exemption for 543 MPs and more than 3,000 MLAs will be virtually revenue neutral, as politicians could easily get the toll reimbursed. The reality is that collecting toll from politicians has often been tricky at best.
बोलते थे हम उड़ा के रिश्तेदार हैं या चोटाला के कुछ हैं, कुछ भी हो, लेकिन नहीं, यहाँ पर प्रूफ चलता है. जो प्रूफ दे रखा है हमारे को कंपनी मालिक ने जो आदेश दिया, हम उस आदेश का पालन करते हैं.
जिनके ऊपर लेवल है वो तो उनके लिए माफ़ नहीं है, फिर भी नेताजी लोग तो जाते ही हैं. लेकिन उस नेताजी लोगों के नाम पे कुछ गाड़ियाँ जाती हैं जो टोल कलेक्शन पे नहीं कर पाते.
The latest freebie for our Netas comes at a time when politicians in the United Kingdom have voluntarily decided to take a 5% pay cut to help beat the recession. Our MPs want a 5-time hike in theirs, from a current 16,000 to 80,000 rupees. With Sunil Prabhu and Bureau Input, Siddharth Pandey for NDTV.
All right, so David Cameron's first decision is to cut the salaries of members of parliament in the United Kingdom. In India, we're now moving towards giving a 5-fold hike to our members of parliament, along with allowances that, at least to the public, seem to make little sense. Like we said, members of parliament and MLAs will no longer have to pay toll tax. So as our members of parliament and our politicians in general go toll-free, we're now debating the politics of freebies that our politicians seem to lap up. Let me start with Rajiv Shukla. Rajiv, let's look at the specific decision that's been taken most recently, that MPs and MLAs don't have to pay toll tax. Now, many would say that it's not as if people like you or people like NK who are also with us on this program can't afford to pay toll tax. Most members of parliament, most MLAs can afford to pay this tax. Then this kind of decision for the Aam Janta becomes about how our netas feel a sense of natural entitlement. That's why people are so angry.
First of all, I would like to correct you as far as the decision of the Council of Ministers of United Kingdom is concerned. They have taken a cut of the salaries of ministers only, not the MPs.
Okay.
And how much salaries the ministers are getting, that we should also tell to the people of this country. Lakhs and lakhs pounds are being paid to them, which means, 80 lakhs, 90 lakhs, 1 crore, that kind of salary was being given to the ministers in the United Kingdom,
but
to the British ministers. So that comparison must be drawn, Barkha. Secondly, as far as MPs are concerned, you know, I am the member of that committee which has recommended the hike of the salary. So it has not been implemented. In fact, the bill was not brought in this session of the parliament. It's still with the government. You know, the government will be pondering over it. Then they will be taking a decision. So no hike has been given.
Tuba.com